Okay, so today we've got Vanessa. She's been training with us for a few months now. Is it 6 months, 8 months?
Well,
Is
it
it?
was mid-May, so it's probably about five, something like that.
Oh, five. Okay, so a little bit less. Okay, awesome. So let's start at the beginning. Before you started with us, what were you thinking? You might have seen the Facebook advert, or what were your thoughts?
Well, I've been running for 6 years, I think it is. And I started that because I turned 45 and I didn't like the way I felt.
Hmm.
I didn't like the sluggish feeling I'd got, and being on the other side of 45 didn't sit well. And I was out walking the dog every day,
Uh-huh.
and I thought, well, I could be running with the dog. So I did the couch to 5K with the dog, and got that. Was really chuffed that I could now run for 30 minutes, but needed incentive to keep that going. So I joined a club,
Okay.
um, and that kept me going out on a regular basis, 2, 3 times a week to keep that up. And I really, really benefited and enjoyed from mental health and physical side. Um, so as time's gone on, I've kind of built up my distances, and 12 months ago, I did my first half marathon, and
Amazing.
I was also sort of like in the middle of starting to go into the perimenopause. So
Okay.
when I trained for the first half marathon. I was taking HRT at the time, and it helped with aches and pains and um, general sort of like fatigue sort of type feelings.
Mhm.
So I got through that training, got through my half marathon. Um, it hurt, but I did it, and was tough. Um, and So that was in the October. In the January, HRT wasn't really suiting me that well. Wasn't doing great things for me.
Mhm.
So I came off it,
Okay.
and coming off it, I noticed um, my body sort of starting to ache more, and I noticed my clothes were getting a bit tighter, and starting to sort of think, oh, I'm not like really liking this. I don't want to go back on HRT because it wasn't great for me anyway. What else can I do? So I started doing research about the things that help your symptoms in perimenopause. And one of the things that kept coming up time and time again was strength training.
Yes.
Um, and I'd kind of not really been a fan of gyms really, and going into a gym and selecting some weights and trying to use them, but not really knowing how to use them properly, or how much I should be pushing myself.
Yeah.
Um, and mindful that I'm still, I still enjoy my running. I want to continue my running. But it became more and more apparent that the strength training and weight training was going to be really beneficial, not only for my perimenopausal symptoms, but also for my running as well.
Win-win.
Um, because my running was starting to feel more difficult. I wasn't enjoying my sessions so much. I wasn't recovering so well. And they were all sort of worrying symptoms that I didn't like. So while I was doing all this kind of searching on the net of things that I could add into my lifestyle to help, your advert came up, um, and local, very, very local.
Brilliant.
And it was this 6 week challenge thing that kind of um, made me sit up really, because I thought, okay, 6 weeks, it's not that long. And if I challenge myself and I don't like it's just 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Or I could challenge myself and it could be really beneficial, and I could find something that I can really sort of get my teeth into and get something out of.
Mhm.
So that's why I joined with yourselves, um, looking for that sort of something to improve what I'd already got.
Yes.
Um, and So I did my 6 weeks challenge. and was quite sort of, I think, in honesty, probably a little bit surprised, because the nutrition side, for example, has been such an education in terms of what I need for strength training, what I need for running, but more importantly, what I don't need. And I thought the nutrition side was going to be really difficult for me,
Yeah.
because I know my diet is massively carb orientated,
Mhm.
and I like carbs as well. So to cut that down, I thought, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But with a little bit of research and a little bit of being adventurous with trying new things, it's not been that bad, and I've actually started to enjoy fresh food a lot more. And uh, I'm not the best in the kitchen. I am not a cook. I'm not a baker, but I've persevered and tried some new things, and some things don't work out that great, but other things have been, the family's given me a thumbs up, and it's been really good. And so yeah, that's kind of where I
Brilliant.
started from and where I'm kind of at now-ish.
What were the things that you didn't need in your nutrition?
I don't think there's anything I didn't need. I probably, I mean, I didn't need so much carbs. That's definitely what I didn't need. I just needed to add in more of what was going to be of benefit. Um, like, one of the things that I absolutely love is a cup of tea, and like a few biscuits. I love dipping my biscuits, but now I don't. And actually, I don't really miss it that much
Okay.
either.
Okay.
Occasionally, I will have some sneaky biscuits and dunk them in my tea, but it's like, oh, I didn't actually, like, I don't feel like I need to go to the biscuit barrel and get more. I've kind of had one biscuit and that's enough now.
Yeah.
Whereas before I'd be like, oh, I could just have another one. um, but yeah, so I suppose my kind of desires for food has changed a bit, really.
Yeah.
I suppose I don't get the um those kind of like urges to, chocolate urges, or, sugar demands that I used to get. So
Cravings.
I feel like my food intake is much better balanced.
Good. And it's under control. That's great. Fantastic. So you came in at quite a good fitness level, just looking to kind of take that a bit further.
Yeah,
And you've changed your nutrition and your training, and it's helped with your running as well. You ran recently, didn't you? You did a
I did. So I did my second half marathon just over a week ago,
fantastic.
and I was a bit worried on how I was going to train for this year's half marathon, because I've got the strength training as well.
Hmm.
Um, but because I generally run 3 times a week, but also I'm going to the, your gym sessions 3 times a week, which leaves me one day rest. And when you're starting to ramp up the distances, you need more than one day's rest.
Yeah.
Um, so for about 6 weeks, I cut my gym sessions down to 2 a week, so that
Hmm.
I could ramp up the distances running. And I kind of put it off this starting this training. And in the end, I was like, well, I'm going to have to start at some point. So I literally, one Saturday morning, I was going to do my long run. I was going to perhaps do 8 miles. Might normally do 6. I thought I'll push it to 8, but I actually smashed out 10 miles just straight away. And I was amazed. Um,
Wow.
so
What from day one?
yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I normally do sort of about 6 miles on a Saturday morning anyway. I kind of put a longer run in once a week, but I just went straight up to 10, because there was other people in my group going up to that distance anyway,
Yeah.
and they were like, looking at our watches, and we were like, well, you're only a mile and a half off, you might as well do the rest. And my legs felt good, and my energy felt good, so I thought, okay, we'll just go for it. So yeah, managed to smash out that 10 miles on that first training run, and was really, really pleased and gobsmacked, really. And the only thing I
Wow.
could put it down to is the fact that my legs have got that bit more strength, that bit more power. So my body's able to just push it a bit more without using up as much exertion as I was before. And then over the next couple of weeks, again, did 10 miles, 10 miles, then stretched up to 11 and 12. And then last weekend was the half marathon. And I can honestly say that I felt pretty comfortable throughout, really. Don't get me wrong, I was looking for that finish line. And
Oh
when I
yeah.
started to hear the cheers, like in the distance, I thought, oh, I'm close now. Um, but I remember one of the things that stuck out from my first half marathon was that when I got to mile 11, my legs were like, they wanted to stop. And
Yeah.
it felt like every step, my legs were going to buckle underneath me. This year, completely different. Um, I'd got some soreness at the tops of my thighs, but it was soreness, it wasn't fatigue. Um, and and it, I felt sort of like I'd got reserves left in my body. My muscles were still going for me; they weren't screaming at me. And I honestly do believe it's because of the strength training, because I've built up there, more power in my legs. I think my fitness was there anyway, but to get over that finish line feeling so much stronger was such a lovely feeling that I wasn't dying when I crossed that line. I've still felt human. It was great, really was
That's
great.
incredible. That's incredible. That's brilliant. I didn't expect you to say you went straight up to 10 in your training.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, I
that's
was
amazing.
amazed.
That's amazing. And just to, feel good at the end of that half marathon. I've done a couple myself and I know what that 11-mile marker is like. It's like someone's just stolen your legs.
Yeah,
And then you're running and you're moving differently to kind of throw your legs forwards.
absolutely,
But
yeah.
that's fantastic. That's amazing. Um, so looking ahead then, what's next? What are your next goals?
I think now, I mean, this sort of half marathon I'd had booked since early spring, so it was before I joined up with yourselves, and I've got nothing booked now. So I would like to um, sort of concentrate a bit more about sort of getting some gains in the gym sessions now. It hasn't been about weight loss for me. It's more about the sort of whole package for me in feeling strong and healthy. Yeah, um I'd like to do a bit of body sculpting to, improve the silhouette um and I think maybe like on a bit of like a self-esteem level, I'd like to kind of look in the mirror and see a strong athletic person. So yeah, I kind of I think I want to sort of kind of build my muscles a bit more and yeah, and just sort of like sculpt them a bit more really, because I've always been such a tree shape. I've never had curves, and I'd like to sort of like put some shape in there really.
Start shaping. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. We can start planning for that for definite. Definitely. Also, what I meant to ask before, did you have your tea and biscuits after your half marathon when you finished it?
I did. I think I had two biscuits, flapjack. I did go a bit overboard, yeah.
Good. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So next milestone is to get a little bit more curves then. What would your top three takeaways be for when you've started training with us to where you are now? What's been your biggest learning points?
Um, the thing that comes to mind straight away is actually something that that you say a lot, and that's consistency.
Yeah.
Um, to like I can hear your voice from your videos, sort of saying consistency is key, and I think that is so true actually. Even when you feel like you've not perhaps progressed or gained much in a week, to just keep remembering that if you just stick to the plan and stick to, um, you be consistent with what you're doing, um, it eventually, like even if you don't get those gains in 1 week, you will see it in 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. To just
Yeah.
stick to it and don't get disheartened by it, because
Yeah.
I mean, since it's only been a week since I did my big run, but like this last week, I've felt like I've wanted to eat quite a lot, and I've wanted to eat stuff that I know I probably shouldn't,
Yeah.
um, and I've thought, but it's a bit boring, and I really want that, and I really shouldn't, but I know if I just stick to my plan, that those feelings will pass, and I'll be really grateful and glad that I didn't, kind of fall off the wagon a bit.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, consistency is definitely the big one for me.
Yeah.
Um, but also that the gym environment is so much more friendly than some might think. Um, it's really nice that some classes are really full. Some classes there might only be a couple, which is quite personal and quite intimate. But then, and like in the big classes, it's quite fun. It's fast paced, and so each session, it's never the same. It's always fun. It's always enjoyable. So, and I didn't think a gym would be like that. I thought gym would be, sort of like grinding your teeth, trying to lift as heavy as you possibly could, and that you
Yeah.
come away like really, really sore. And yeah, you do come away sore, but it's like it's nothing that doesn't go away after a couple of days, and then you feel stronger the next day. But the fun that you have kind of feeds your desire to go again. Um,
Yes.
and I think that's one of the nicest things about going to the sessions really, is that it is fun, it is friendly, and you feel relaxed. I going to gyms in the past, I've never felt relaxed. I've always felt very self-conscious. But in your sessions, it's not like that at all. So that's yeah, really, really nice actually.
Fantastic.
Um,
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
I'm trying to think of a third one. Um,
That kind of feedback was really, it keeps us going. It really does. And it's really good to see because obviously when you're working as hard as you can in the session, people are like not gritting their teeth, but they've got the game face on. Not that
yeah,
everyone has, because we're all having fun as well in the sessions, but sometimes as an instructor or a coach, you can be like, ooh, do they hate me?
yeah, but even when people are really pushing themselves, um, once they've lifted that weight that say that they've not done before, the smile on their faces afterwards is
Oh,
like you kind of share it with them, really. Even for me, being in the class with them, when I see somebody chuffed that they've just done something they haven't done before, I'm smiling for them as well.
that personal best thing is infectious, isn't it? It really
Yeah.
celebrating wins. That's another thing that obviously could be a takeaway. Like celebrating those wins, and then it kind of spurs you on for them to get another win, but also for you to get a win, but not in a competitive way.
Yeah, yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Sometimes like if I'm doing something and it's heavier than I might sort of feel comfortable with, and like when your face starts to sort of like crease up and you make funny faces and you're aware of that, it doesn't matter because everyone else is in the same situation and you can all smile about it. And yeah, it's
Everybody else has their lifting face.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Brilliant. One last thing. For people that were in the situation that you were in before you saw our 6 week message on Facebook, say that advert's kind of popped up for them, what would you say? Like, what would you say to people still sitting on the sidelines, waiting for that perfect time?
Um, just go for it. It's like I said to you earlier, at the end of the day, it's just 6 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, and that 6 weeks could change your everyday lifestyle, which is a massive thing.
Yeah,
Just in just 6 weeks, and it flies by so quickly. If anyone who's thinking it, or it's not my cup of tea, I don't join clubs, I don't join gyms. Um, it it's really not the traditional kind of joining a gym thing in my mind. It's not what you would expect. I remember having my sort of first PT session and feeling really like nervous and as to what to expect. But as soon as I walked in, Sam greeted me with a big smile and automatically made me feel at ease.
yeah,
And I think one of the first things she said was, "Don't worry, we're not going to do anything you're uncomfortable with. It's just to see where your starting point is, and then we can build from there." And immediately I've felt my shoulders drop, um, and so yeah, it was that those words, "Don't worry, we're going to look after you," was quite important words, because I immediately relaxed, and that's what it'll be like anyone who's walking through the door for the first time, and they just give that 6 weeks a go. From the outset, you'll find it's actually really relaxing and really friendly, and there's nothing to worry about. Just go for it, because you can only gain from it. Really, that's it, you can only gain.
brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, that's exactly what we want people to kind of to see um, on all our socials that we put out. That's what we want. It's that environment where people come in, feel looked after, feel safe, get results, and then obviously the voice that you hear in your head, consistency. If you can do it consistently for 6 weeks, then there's a good chance that you can do it consistently long term so that you can keep those results going forwards and
Yeah.
keep pushing forwards. It's brilliant. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Thanks, Vanessa. Um, yeah. Have you got anything else that kind of that jumps out to you? Like I was thinking about um, fitness challenges. I think some people did a fitness challenge this weekend, and I thought, who could do that? And I was thinking there was yourself and a few others in the class that we could do our own little kind of fitness challenges, and then maybe look at going to other gyms that host them as well. Have you seen any?
No, do you mean like high rocks type of stuff?
Yeah, so the high rocks is yeah, for me, that's a bit too much cardio for me. But I was thinking Deca. Have you heard of Deca?
No.
So you know the mud runs and stuff.
Oh,
Spartan. Have you
yeah.
heard of them? So they've set up this like an in-house competition, and you can be an affiliated gym or whatnot, but they do that like in-house competitions, and it's a bit like a smaller version of High Rocks. Um,
Okay.
and there's variants of it. So there's one where there's quite a bit of running for them. It's less than High Rocks. Then there's the half the amount of running, and then there's just the exercises. So they've got kind of 8 to 10 stations, a lot like the High Rocks Challenge itself as well. And then they have an
Oh,
Atlas one, which is a strength. It's heavier, but there's no cardio at all. So they're just smaller events. They're good to kind
oh,
of start off with, I think. Yeah.
it sounds interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start posting about that. I might mention it on the Friday video. And we'll look to, I might have to get some more kit for the gym, but it might be that something we do like on a Saturday morning slash lunchtime as a
Right.
simulator, just to kind of practice it. But we might try a few other time slots as well, just to see. But yeah, if you're interested, we could do that. It
Yeah,
could be a
sounds like
milestone
pretty
for
good
you.
fun.
Yeah.
One of the things that I kind of enjoy about the gym sessions, and this is going to sound really daft, but I grew up as the youngest of four, and I had three big brothers.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
uh, there was a lot of sort of like sibling sort of rivalry in the sense of like, I can do this better than you, and I'm stronger than you, and that. And when my mum used to go around the neighbours, all four of us used to just like fight. I mean, fight. And we'd be like, throwing each other around and doing pylons, and then you see if the bottom one could like crawl out. And uh, when I come to the gym sessions, although it's not quite like being with my big brothers, it's like when you're like really trying to like lift something, or you're really trying to, it takes me back to being younger when I'd like have like strength competitions with my brothers. So that has got to be a good thing because
Yeah.
just it, and like when with this like a little bit of competition thrown in, it's just immediately made me think of like having competitions with my brothers when I was a kid. Yeah, that's my little feed sort of point of view of how I enjoy these things.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Like, and that's why we put together that style of training. Not so you can like, be personal best and all that, but yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Fantastic. Perfect. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm gonna just we'll carry on talking, and what I'll do is I'll sign it off with how we finish at the end. I always struggle with this bit of saying goodbye and all that. And it's like, yeah, when you put the phone down, you're bye 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 bye.
Yeah,
That. Yeah, that. But yeah, okay. Brilliant. Right. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Um, that was fantastic. There's loads of takeaway points for us to use there as well, and for people to learn from as well. People that are starting off and thinking about coming in. So thank you very much for your time, Vanessa. That's brilliant.
You're welcome. Thank you.